Hi guys, today's video is going to be a little bit different than usual. Today I am not going to show you anything, but I'm going to talk a little bit about what COVID-19 has done for my photography and what I've learned throughout this period of time, of self-isolation, of fear, of contemplation. So today's video is going to be a little more on the softer side. So back in March, when the country closed down, and this was like a couple of days after my birthday, by the way, I managed to have my birthday, and then everything just closed. But back in March, I lost my income. I lost my sense of independence because suddenly I was relying on my husband. I questioned everything, and I also lost, or felt like I was losing a link to my family back home. So as some of you guys know, I'm from Denmark and my parents are living in Sweden, and I go home 3 to 4 times a year. I had a trip planned in April and I had one planned in July, and suddenly I couldn't do that anymore. Yes, there's video chats and whatnot, but those physical encounters that I have with my family and that have made me able to move to the States have been vital for my mental health, to say the least. So there was a lot of fear going on. Not just, everyone was afraid, and everyone didn't know what was going to come next. But for me, it meant I had to sit down and I had to rethink everything that was my business and that was my photography and my ideas of where I want to be and where I want to go. So for me, it became a time of contemplation. It was time to rethink everything and analyze everything. It was also a chance for me to acknowledge the immense privilege that I have of being able to sit down and think about these things. Really, yeah, I lost my income, but we still had enough. We didn't lose our house, we didn't lose our health, our lives, we didn't lose any family members, knock on wood. So it made me realize just how privileged I am. And I think recognizing my privilege really made me appreciate my ability to be creative even more, because not everyone has the privilege of being able to focus on what they dream of doing. This is my passion. This is everything that I want to be. Having to take a forced break from life, basically, forced me to look at some of the things that I don't like about what I'm doing. So the biggest question I had to ask myself, where do I want to be as a creator? What is the type of creations that I want to be doing? Am I going to be mainly a portrait photographer taking in clients, or do I want to spread myself out a little bit more? I realized that YouTube was something that I wanted to start focusing on, and that's why I'm doing these videos. And I'm really getting into the whole idea of creating videos and telling stories. I'm really enjoying educating and helping people with some of the issues that I had starting out. And in turn, creating this channel have helped me rethink some of my decisions. Do I really need a $1,500 lens, or can I make do with a $600 lens? And the answer is most of the time yes. Yes, I can. I don't need the most expensive, the most technically advanced. I'm actually okay with a lot of the things that I have. Yes, I will say this, my 50mm 1.4 lens is in dire need of exchange, mainly because it's 11 years old and I have used it hard. But I had to ask myself, what matters the most in my photography journey? Is it the gear? Is it the business? Or is it the creativity and the freedom to create? Through these 3 months, I have been able to take a step back and focus on creating again. I started doing self-portraits, and this is how this all began. And frankly, those self-portraits, they again went in and redialed everything that I've been doing for the past few years. They help me refocus my work. They help me refine my creativity, refine my purpose. And that was something that I actually felt like I'd lost. I had become a slave of what needed to be done versus what I personally wanted to do. And so instead of keeping on creating and like really living a creative purpose, I ended up not doing any creative projects for me. I had a few here and there, like I have a silver project going that I hopefully can rekindle soon, but that was about it. I hadn't done any real creative sessions in a while. I hadn't practiced really. Yes, I had clients coming, but those are not times for practice. Those are times for creating and applying what I practiced. And so as a result, I ended up being stagnant. And 3 months being forced to not do anything, that really helped me see that stagnation and helped me realize what needed to be done. My style is changing. I'm going back to basic on many things. I'm just getting out there now. Like now we're here in Connecticut anyway, where some of the stay-at-home orders are being lifted. I have been able to go back out there and photograph models and do socially distanced photo shoots. That meant that I did my first underwater session. It meant that I took my old Rebel camera, my old 450D, and compared it to my Canon EOS R. I started thinking about what is it that I have and what can I use this for. Basically, I started thinking about how can I make do with less instead of more. I feel like these past 3 months have been a back to basic in my creative journey. It's been a restart, it's been a reset button. And now I'm sitting here 3 months later and sitting with a path in front of me that's completely different than 3 months ago. How awesome is that? COVID-19 made me think about, where do I want to live my life? How do I want to live my life? And it doesn't involve more stuff. It doesn't involve being more tied down to one location. It involves more freedom. It involves more traveling and more discovering and more storytelling. I am living for telling stories. I feel like this reset has refueled my energy, and suddenly I feel passionate about photography. So what's happening now coming out of isolation? Well, for once, I am realizing that I need to do more passion projects. Passion projects need to be a regular part of my work. I'm promising myself never to neglect my creative side again. This is the side that makes me want to do more and to be better. I cannot neglect my creative learning process, and I need to keep creating for me. I'm learning that I want to dive into video and see where it can take me, and I'm discovering how much I enjoy creating these videos for you guys, and how much I really love teaching. I didn't recognize just how big of a part of me teaching is and how important it is for me to pass on my knowledge. So as a conclusion, I think this whole Corona crisis has helped me put everything in perspective, and it's rekindling my creativity. Now, I would love to hear your story and how COVID-19 has affected you and how it has affected how you see yourself, how you see your photography. Let me know in the comments below. I am really excited to hear your story and to hear your perspective on this whole thing. If you like this video, hit the like button, and if you want more content like this, subscribe to my channel. I am gonna keep on creating, I'm gonna keep on producing, and I'm gonna keep on being passionately fueled. Have a beautiful day.